What's going on, everybody? Let's Talk Jets Radio. Another embarrassing loss for the New York Jets, getting beat in London by the Vikings 23-17. Sam Darnold obviously did not play great, yet the Jets could not take advantage of the numerous opportunities that the Vikings tried to give them to allow them to hang around in this game. You get Aaron Rodgers beat up, almost has his leg bent in half. Somehow he still comes back out there. You have him throw the ball 54 times. Can't establish a run game to save your life. I don't know what's going on with Breece Hall. He looks like a complete shell of himself. The exact same conversation that we were having last week about Braylon Allen. When he's out there, he just looks more explosive, and the offense just moves better, and I just don't know what to say at this point. I think heads have to roll. You cannot waste away this season and just flush it down the drain because you have incompetent coaching. I know Aaron Rodgers did not play well today by any means, turning the ball over 3 times. It's very hard to win a game like that, yet they still had opportunity after opportunity, and they failed. You get a gift fumble, you start a drive in Vikings territory, and this is when the game was still very early. It was only 3-0, and Alan Lazard, wide open on the sideline, would have put the Jets first down at the Vikings, 20-yard line, drops it, one of 4 fucking passes and 10 targets today that Lazard didn't come down with, that hit his fucking hands. Very next ball, pick 6. Next drive, I think it was the 3rd play, Rodgers throws up his 2nd interception. So you were fighting an uphill battle from the very beginning. I don't understand whatever the Jets do in practice as far as their scripted plays. They never fucking work. We had better scripted plays under Adam Gase. This is absolutely insane that this offense just can't get out of its own way. For all the investments that we had into that offensive line, for whatever reason, this team just can't get a running game going. It's so hard to comprehend. We all assumed having a competent quarterback would relax the defense a little bit. You can't just stack the box. And yet still, we cannot get a running game going. It's just so hard to understand. The 3rd and 4th and short, not being able to get it, even with Braylon Allen in the game there, don't understand it at all. And I think heads have to roll at this point because, again, you can't flush away the season. There's too much talent here. We were talking about this roster being a 12, 13-win roster. Maybe we do inflate some players. Maybe we do crown players way too soon. But I still think there's a lot of talent on this roster that the Jets are grossly underutilizing. Not having Malachi Corley fucking active today, giving Lazard 10 targets when, again, he dropped 4 of them. It's unbelievable. I think Mike Williams maybe had 3 or 4 targets, had 2 catches. He's got to be featured more. I have no idea what's going on with Breece, but you got to change something up on the offensive side of the ball. There are too many games where we're seeing the exact same type of shit, and you don't have the excuse of not having the quarterback anymore. This was supposed to be Hackett's guy, and it's still not working. So you don't want to fire the head coach? Fine. You fire the offensive coordinator. You demote Hackett. You let Todd Downing call the plays. You let Aaron Rodgers call the plays. You do something different because what you're doing right now is not working. You're not able to put up points. The defense essentially gave up, 13 points today? When you take away the touchdown and one drive where the Jets go 3 and out from their own end zone, the Vikings get 2 yards and they're already in field goal range. They go 3 and out and they still kick a field goal. The Vikings gave the Jets every opportunity to come back in this game, and the Jets gave it away. It is so infuriating, time after time, watching these games where the team just doesn't show up. They don't look prepared. And you're fighting this uphill battle trying to, make a comeback, and you have to completely abandon the run game. You're letting Rodgers get drilled every fucking play. And even when he's hurt, the chat was going nuts about this. You're calling play action fakes when your quarterback's on one leg right now, having him do 5-step dropbacks and shit. It is so hard to comprehend. And the deodorant's going to be Davante Adams. Rather than actually making a move, holding somebody accountable, and making a change, they're going to hope that the deodorant could be Davante Adams. And credit to you guys, because you all called me out in the chat a few days ago. I'm like, yeah, you get Davante Adams, somebody that knows Rodgers, it'll completely change the offense. But when you're seeing the same shit, and the bigger alarm for me is everything that's going on the sideline. I'd have a little bit more patience and more of a belief that this team can get things turned around if they had the right leadership. But from the head coach, who doesn't fucking talk to anybody on the sidelines, it's arms folded, head down, talking in the headset. He never talks to anybody. And even fucking Rodgers today, after every drive, it was right to the bench. head down, not talking to anybody. Tyson called it out when Sauce got hurt. He walked right by him, didn't say a word. He's out of it. And he's the guy that everybody looks up to. If you don't have leadership from your head coach and from your quarterback, this season's going fucking nowhere no matter what you do. Whether you get Devontae Adams or whatever trade you try to make, Hassan Reddick comes back, it won't fucking matter. The Jets are constantly trying to overcome incompetent coaching, and I don't understand it. This guy does absolutely nothing on the sidelines, and he gives the same pathetic excuse for answers after every single loss. There's a good team, wet football, they have a good defense, we battled. Like, it's the same bullshit. They're content, and we heard it. We heard it during the week from Alan Lazard. We're content to be 2-2. If you asked us before the season, we'd be okay with 2-2. What kind of mindset is that? And there's no urgency to change anything, which is even more infuriating. Because he tells it to you. You ask him during the week. He said it. We're not going to change anything. We're going to do things the way that we do things. There is zero self-awareness to the fact that the way you're doing things is not working and you have to change something. So the body language on the sidelines, and we've seen plenty of examples too, where players just aren't happy. They're not happy with their role. There's something not jiving. You're seeing all the cracks, and they're really starting to splinter. You know, even the touchdown from Garrett Wilson against the Patriots, when he ran right back to the sideline, didn't celebrate with anybody. And we remember from Hard Knocks last year, Hackett's real big. You celebrate with your teammates. He didn't want any part of that. And then they're trying to force feed him the ball today. 22 targets. I thought he was okay. Should have had the touchdown at the end. Rodgers missed him. Fell down on another route. The Lazard shit, I just can't understand. I'm done with it. I understand he has 4 touchdowns, but you can't have a drop every game and then just offset it with a touchdown or a first down or some shit. In big moments, he's dropping balls that are hitting him right in the hands. And there were a couple that were tough catches there. Ball still hit him right in the hands. You got to come down with it. And as infuriating as it is that the defense, once the Jets got it to 3 points, they had a chance to lock it down. I think there were 6 minutes left in the game. If you get a 3-and-out there, you get the ball back, good field position, you have plenty of time to work with. Instead, what do? Vikings go right down the field. Justin Jefferson hits a big play. I can't understand for the life of me why, and I know Sauce was out for a little bit, but especially early on to start the game when the defense started slow, you had Tony Adams on Jefferson. You had fucking Isaiah Oliver on Jefferson. You had DJ Reed, who actually played pretty well today on Justin Jefferson. And it seemed like every other play you had a penalty. Even Sauce got penalized twice. I mean, nothing was working, but at the very least, I'd personally rather go down with Sauce on Jefferson. Like, your best player, their best player, why not? So, this is infuriating. Infuriating. That we're sitting here at 2-3 with a roster that so many people believed, I still think rightfully so, there's enough talent that we should be talking about this team as an 11, 12, 13-win team fighting to win a division. And unfortunately, that vision seems so fucking far away because we can't get out of our own way. Something has to change. It is still early enough where you can get this shit right. But we can't just go down doing things the same fucking way. You got to look in the mirror and realize something's seriously wrong. And if it was just a loss, a 6-point loss against a good team, maybe you say, all right, you know what? You wait another week. Everything that's going on the sidelines, the body language, the lack of communication, the lack of coaching. Like, coaches aren't coaching players on the sideline. There's a stark difference when the camera pans over to the Vikings sideline versus the Jets sideline. Go watch the entire game again. But it all changes when something good happens. We get a sack, we get a 3-and-out. Everybody's all smiles. And the fact that Saleh was like legitimately ear to ear smiling in a game where the Jets are down by 6 points with Garrett Wilson before that final drive, I don't give a fuck what you're trying to manifest. You're trying to manifest some good vibes before that drive. You're losing a game in the fourth quarter, and you're sitting there smiling. And that's your only interaction that you probably had with him the entire day. The Jets are going nowhere unless the leadership on this team fucking steps up. That includes Rodgers, and most importantly, that includes Saleh. And if nothing changes next week against Buffalo, I would fire him too. But for this week, I would make a change. Offensive coordinator, I've seen enough. Rodgers isn't happy. He's getting fucking killed. Make a change in play caller. Do it before it's too late. But unfortunately, what they're going to do, again, you guys all called it, it's going to be the Davante Adams trade, which I don't think, with the same coaching right now, I don't know what kind of impact that's really going to have. Crazy we are here. Let's go Mets.